this is quite literally like a college course, but you're going to get it in 6 weeks. And you're going to have you're going to have retreats at the end, and you can be a certified retreat planner when you take the course that is kind of got quizzes and things like that afterwards. So this is really it's not even a crash course. It's really a deep dive, because you're going to learn how to produce the retreats or events, and we're going to actually do it at the same time. So like Araya has one that's a retreat she's filling right now. So she might learn some different techniques of ways to do that. And we're going to have a lot of amazing special guests coming in. And we're talking about people who are on some top stages that are really excited to share. So the other thing that I wanted to let you guys know is that this is on Thursday today, because it's the launch, it's the kickoff. But the real 6 weeks is going to start next week, and it's going to be on Tuesdays. And I'm going to send you guys the Zoom link and the time schedule all the way through. But it will be on. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the Paid Vacation Retreat Revenue Masterclass, like the class part. Is going to be on Tuesdays starting at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which for those of us in California and Arizona. And then if you're in the East Coast, of course, that's, I use my fingers, 2, 3, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will have all of that on the email. So then we're going to do the courses on the Tuesdays during that time frame. It will be recorded, and you can get the recordings. And then I'm going to do office hours on Fridays. And that could range a little bit, but what the office hours are is it's going to be on Zoom, and you're going to be able to come in and ask any questions. You can share screen if you've got something you're working on and you need any advice, tips, you want to collaborate with someone in the group. This is a collaborative course. This is not me just teaching at you. It is really, it works best with engagement. So Araya, can you try to tag Ramona in here? We're missing a bunch of people, so I just want to make sure that people are coming in. And you guys are blessed, because I don't think any of you.
Happy to.
I'm sorry, honey?
Yeah, of course. I'll tag her now.
You're awesome. Thank you so much. And you guys are going to be lucky, because I've got a special guest who is my behind the scenes. He's running his company, but he's here as my back of house as well. So you see Mark Butchie, that's his nickname. And so please put, you guys, I think I'll put in the chat. We've got, in some cases, I think it was before I opened the chat up to everyone. So Christina Baca is here from California. Christina is in San Francisco. Christina, just so you know, I spent the weekend with a resort conference planner in MPI at our Meeting Planners International event last weekend. So she's an amazing contact, and I love her because she's also shorter than myself. It's fabulous. I'm sorry? Oh, the screen's flashing? Is this flashing for everyone? Oh, well, that's just strange. That's weird. Oh, you're right. It is doing that on my iPad too. Let's do a stop share. Okay, is that better? You can see me, I'm not flashing, right? Okay. Listen, if we have to stop, oh, it might be because the AI assistants were kicking in. So we've got Christina from San Francisco. I've got some contacts there. Zai Dewey's in Carlsbad, California. We've got Araya in Atlanta. And then we have, well, we know that Ramona's in Atlanta. She'll come in when she can. Dylan, you didn't put where you're from. I don't know if you're able to type that in, but if not, you can unmute your mic and share where you're from, Dylan. You guys should have the ability to unmute. Dylan, are you able to unmute, or did I have to ask you? Because I did ask you. Oh, he stepped away, I guess. Okay. So Dylan, if I remember correctly,
near San Francisco, Northern California.
There you go.
Thanks.
San Fran. So did I have to ask? No, because Araya unmuted herself. So, okay, great. Thanks, Dylan. Thanks for being part of this. So right now I'm working with all new technology. I've spent a lot of hours trying to figure all this out. It's been a journey, so bear with me because I've got some really high tech, like triple screens and all kinds of things going. Kane Minkus has inspired me yet intimidated me to death. He's one of my coaches. And Zai knows what that's like. So he's got some crazy setups and he's in Italy right now. And I'm texting him like, dude, what does this mean? So I have all my tech people on call, but I definitely have got to do a lot more because this just came in. So I'll be able to show you. I can actually show you later. So let's talk about paid vacation. So what this means for you guys is that we want generally to be going on what? Vacation. So put your hands up, your digital hand, raise your digital hand if you would rather go on vacation and not have to pay full price for it. Raise your digital hands. Okay, excellent. Okay, so while Mark is still here, I'm gonna have him unmute his mic and he's gonna tell you a little bit about him because some of you have heard about him for a while and never met him, and Ramona's gonna be very upset that she's not here. So now I gotta turn my mic on.
Wow.
Okay, did you unmute?
I
They need to
unmuted.
see you.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I'm doing it.
Okay, you guys can put your hands down too, by the way.
I'll put mine down too.
Okay, there he is.
Hi, everybody. So nice to meet you.
So this is Mark. He's my everything. So
I'm her assistant.
He's my assistant.
I'm here to make sure she's successful.
So there you go. So you finally got to meet Mark, Araya. She's probably getting Ramona right now. I missed it.
I'll come back.
Okay, you'll come back. Okay, go ahead and unmute so I can turn my volume back up. Okay, so he's in the same room, which causes a little bit of a transition here. Okay, so today we're not just today, in the next 6 weeks, you're going to learn to redefine success. You're going to learn how to get paid to vacation, grow your business, and build luxury retreats and VIP experiences. I'd love to share this with you guys, but it was a little glitchy and glitching. So I can certainly send you guys the deck later if that will be helpful. And I'm really, really grateful that you're here. So thank you so much for taking the time to be out here. I know that we all are very busy. So we're going to learn to get paid to vacation, hang out with cool people. You're going to meet new cool people as well, and make more money than ever in a week. Okay. So this is why you're going to love the presentation, because it is something that has never been created before. In fact, did you know that retreats are the highest paying, most satisfying service that you can deliver? And you can even get to see the world. And we're going to teach you how to do that. And if you want to always feel like you're on vacation, enjoy hanging out with cool people and making lots of money, make sure you're showing up every week for this. Now, I want to make this very clear. I'm not a travel agent. I partner with travel agencies. So I have the ability of getting you guys cheaper. I should say cheaper. That's not cheap is not what we always go for, but high quality, less expensive travel arrangements. I am partners with global transportation companies, everything from your sedan, your SUVs, your limos, your large black cars to helicopters, private jets, Rocky Mountaineer trains. So like planes, trains, and automobiles, and yacht companies. That's right. I am partners with chartered yacht companies that are out of all over the world, actually. Some of them charter for hours for the day, and others have a 7-day minimum with full chef and crew. So does anybody here watch any reality TV shows that show like behind under what is it? You love the deck. Below deck. Mark loves Below the Deck. So does anybody here put in the chat if you like to watch those reality shows where they're on mansions and they're on cruise ships and they're getting to do really cool stuff? Anthony Bourdain, rest his soul. So put it in the chat. Where is it you want to go? What kind of transportation is on your bucket list? That's what this is about. So I want to see it in the chat. Greece. I'm partnered with a Greece retreat person. So all she does is Greece. I'll put you in touch with her when you're ready. All right. So is I the only one who wants to go somewhere? Right. That's cool. Thunder. There we go. Janet, fly, train, sail, London, Sweden. Got people in London and Norway. Okay. Excellent. So obviously I am not like as, high tech as King Minkus, but we want to make this fun. Okay. So Christina wants to go to Spain too. So it looks like we've got a bunch of Spain. We've got a bunch of cruises, also partnerships with cruise companies. So pretty cool. Okay. So in this, we're going to teach you here's what's going to happen. You're going to discover your why. You're going to learn your who, and you're going to execute excellence. And the nice thing about this is you are not alone. You have a event producer with 30 years of experience. Oh, you can't hear the music, Zai, when I play it? That's sad. Okay, well, I can sing. Do you want me to sing next time? You really don't want me to sing. Definitely do not want me to sing. But thank you for letting me know, Zai, because I would not have known that otherwise. Okay, so we will take the pop motivation music away until we can figure that out. So I'm the only one hearing it. So I'm the one singing. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You're going to learn how to produce all these events and retreats, but you have me for one-on-one time, and we'll talk about that. You'll get one-on-one time with me. You also receive group ideas. We will have professionals coming in teaching about lead gen, resorts and their contracts, production, lighting, staging, audio, visual. There's a reason why I'm not great at this whole webinar thing, this whole tech thing going on here, because I hire people to do all of this for me and I do it on site. I'm not a Zoom girl. Do I look like a Zoom girl to you? No, that's right, Zai. I'm an in-person, bear-hugging, 5-foot firecracker. You can't put me behind a screen. So this stuff throws me off. So I'm going to tell you right now, my tech is not going to be perfect. I don't claim for it to be perfect. It is not my goal. My goal is for us to have retreats produced. It's not about having anything fancy to show you. Yes, I've got PowerPoints. Yes, I've got graphics. I'm going to be sending you notes. You're going to have recordings. So you're going to have everything you need to be successful, but you also get me. I'm not talking at you. This is a collaboration. We're here to help each other. And hopefully you will end up having people that you meet through this that you can partner with, or they might want to go on your retreat. So, and I'm going to let you promote your retreat with this group. That doesn't mean you have to buy into it. I don't want this to become very salesy. I don't want anyone to feel obligated whatsoever to go do anyone's events, okay? So if you understand that, completely understand that, please put in the chat, it's clear. Just put clear, C-L-E-A-R. If you understand that you're going to be allowed to promote your events and retreats with our group, I'm going to get you into our paid to vacation private Facebook group that we have, and you're going to be able to promote your stuff. I've got 3 more seats left. I've got 1 more seat left. I've got 10 seats. I have 30 seats. Be honest about it. This is not a lying marketing group. We're not in here so that we can say we have 1 spot left just to be, marketing tricky. You know how that goes. We're all here so that we can work together. And I really would appreciate if everyone could turn their camera on. I don't care if you're working on your computer, if you're eating your breakfast or lunch, if you have a dog or a baby. I want to see your beautiful faces, because that's how this goes. Thank you, beautiful. I see Janet. And I want to make sure that you're present, because if you're not present, this doesn't work. This doesn't work if you're just sitting here and feeling like you're just here to support me. It's not about me. This is about supporting you guys, and I am here full force. And I will tell you, Araya's okay. Araya, you have a good excuse. She's in a towel getting ready for her big day. Fine, Araya.
Sorry, I'll be present on the Tuesdays. This one caught me by surprise.
Stay in your towel. Keep it on. Keep it wrapped around. Do not open the microphone. Step away from the microphone button. I love it. Okay, so listen, it's not your fault. I love it. Christina too, getting ready. It's all good. It's all good. Just pay attention. Listen, I'm doing my makeup when I'm on a lot of the apps too. Okay, so what we're going to do is teach you the TRIPS blueprint. You've been hearing me talk about the TRIPS blueprint for a long time, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to craft your ideal retreat. You're going to achieve your retreat, travel, and bucket list experience goals one at a time. And I know that Miss Gets Celebritized in a Towel, Araya, she's big on legacy, right? And legacy is her organization, and also footprint. You know, so who here, you can put it in the chat since half of you are getting ready. Who here, it's important to create a legacy, to pass things down to your children and grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, to have a footprint in this world, to be able to change people's lives. I love it. Janet, are you raising your hand because you want to speak, or are you raising it just because you want to let me know? Because you're welcome to unmute.
Just to let you know.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for being present. Okay, great. So you see, I get it because I was super focused on my own dreams and achieving my bucket list dreams. And many of you knew me when I was a bucket list actionista. You know that I still have Actionista Live, which was it's one of my companies. I didn't close it. It's just become a product of Samara Beth and Company, which is my newer brand. So you're going to see that coming out. But I was very focused on achieving my dreams and my bucket list list. I had a list. I still have a list. And you guys, most of you got the bucket list planner for free already. If you didn't, let me know and I will message you the link. And it's now downloadable where you don't need a code. We put it in as a downloadable in a different way. So that's the other thing is I use Go High Level with AI on top of it. It's the IR CRM. I am able to help you with landing pages and with all the things that you need and graphics and stuff like that. So just know that we're really here full and full. And I do have production teams that can work on site for any event, and they're all over and they also travel. So what we want to do is figure out what your desires are and why this is important for you. Okay. So you're probably thinking, sure, this all sounds really good, but why am I teaching it? Well, I'm doing it because I want to help other people achieve their goals and dreams too. Do you know what my favorite thing is about being an event planner? My favorite thing about, I have two actually, two favorite things about being an event planner. Number one, my favorite thing about being an event planner is watching my clients' faces when they walk into the event. Like the doors are closed and I open it for them, have a cocktail in hand for them that I already know that they want because I ask them what their drink preference is a week before. And sometimes they don't know. So then I ask them throughout the day, do you know what you want? So that that drink is there, whether it's a specialty drink or water, whatever it may be. And then my second favorite thing besides seeing their, oh my God, jaw drop when they walk into my events, it's really powerful, by the way, is paying my vendors and creative partners. I've been in this industry a long time. I say the 90s, but to be honest, my mom was a conference planner. And some of you might know this, maybe you don't, but she was on the board of IANS, International Association of Near-Death Studies. And back in the 80s, that was very faux pas. I was like, what? You're weird. She was woo-woo. She was a past life hypnotherapist, and she used to plan conferences in Baltimore where we grew up. And so her youngest, perkiest, I have two older brothers, happens to be a type A OCD personality. And so fortunately for her, she had somebody who was able to color coordinate all her files and organize everything, just like my drawer was color coordinated for my socks and my clothes. They still are. And I have issues. And just being very organized, I always was able to help her. And she was so blessed to have that, and she appreciated it. So with that being said, I was actually really good at selling raffle tickets, selling cassette tapes, selling books, getting the authors to autograph them. I was this little kid, okay, sitting at the table at the conferences, and I was selling them like hotcakes. I still am really good at doing that part. It's so much fun. Oh my God, Janet, you have to be kidding me. Janet just said she's an IANS organizer for Orange County, California. Janet, I can't wait to introduce you to my mom, Laurie Kohler Schwartz. She's going to love it. So my dad unfortunately just passed away in October, and my mom, and they were married. It would have been 58 years, August 20th. And my mom stopped doing all of that. And she had Elizabeth Kubler-Ross was literally in my living room eating blueberry muffins from Price Club.
Awesome.
Yes. So, I mean, when I tell you we had Daniel Brinkley and Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and all the people who have been in this world in all the books, and I didn't realize how important they were until I went to University of Maryland and I took a death and dying class as like a core, because I was a psychology major in the beginning, and then I switched it to public relations in the College of Journalism. And so I went into some psych classes, and death and dying was one of them. And the people in my living room were in the textbook. I was like, some of them wrote the textbook.
So cool.
Amazing. So she's going to get back on stages, and I'm creating a spiritual summit. So we'll have to bring you on board too. We got to get my mom back in the game.
Yes.
So, and she's a certified past life transgression hypnotherapist. She hasn't done it in years, but she loves practicing on me. So we'll talk about that later. Fantastic. Okay, so so I love when you guys unmute your mics. Please do that. When you're done speaking, this is a good reminder for me, please mute your mic again, because my branding team has informed me that we can hear people chewing and drinking and clicking and clacking and typing, and it doesn't make good for the repurpose of the video to educating people again. So that was a good reminder for me. And I do want you guys to unmute your mic. I love that. Just make sure when you're done, we mute it back up, and then you can go from there. So here's your benefits. So today, well, not just today, but you're going to discover the benefits of producing extraordinary retreats with mind-blowing experiences. So you may not know this, but since the 90s, starting out in New York City, I worked for a destination management company, which was a corporate event production company, and it's called Empire Force Events. And then they changed to Access DMC, Access New York, and back to Empire Force Events. Anyways, the short of it is I worked there since 1998, and that was my start in the big corporate world. And that company is still thriving and in New York, and I'm very close with them. Important not to burn bridges with your previous employers and clients and colleagues, because you never know where they're going to come back into your life. So I had married a nuclear submarine officer who eventually went into oil, gas, construction. So we were expats. And as all these things are happening, we're moving and moving and moving. And I was still working for the company in New York City. And I kept having a home office wherever we would go. And that was a really hard life, because I felt like I was living a double life as a Navy wife and being in the fast life of the city. Very different, especially because we were in the Navy in the South, and that was new for me. So in Amelia Island, Florida, Charleston, South Carolina, we lived in Hawaii, in Oahu. So amazing resort destinations, because submarines need to be in deep water. So that was a pretty good choice. So with all that being said, I kept moving, but I was still working for that company. And then 9/11 happened, and I was in New York City, and my husband was at the Pentagon. Talk about crazy. And I watched that second plane go in to that building, and I watched a restaurant, Windows on the World, that I frequented so much, had many events that took place there, and I was there this Saturday before. So my whole family thought I was there because they thought I was doing a pre-con. What I was actually doing was giving a tour for YPO, Young Professionals Organization. If you guys are familiar with it, it's people who become millionaires at a young age. And I was giving a tour to the Twin Cities department, and we go to Windows on the World for one of our site tours, and I'm with my boss, and we're like, oh my gosh, like so gorgeous, look at this. And then we're waiting for the elevator, and our client is like kind of stepping back, and Jackie's like, my boss is like, oh, come over here, you guys see this view, let me show you this and this, because she's like a walking tour guide. She's from Brooklyn, her whole life she's New York. And our client goes, that's okay, I'm scared of heights. And she goes, scared of heights? Who comes to Windows on the World if you're scared of heights? He's like, well, it's not for me, it's for everyone else, and they really wanted to consider this. And Jack's like, well, you're fine up here, you're good. So then I was producing an event in New York City. I wasn't living there anymore, we were living in Florida. So that's why it's even more weird that my husband we were living in Florida, the submarine was based in Georgia, and he was at the Pentagon with all the officers at a tour with the admirals, and I was in New York City. Me being in New York City, that was normal. I would be there for a couple weeks at a time because I was producing corporate events for Fortune 100, 500 companies. So my clients, needed me, and my bosses, when they needed me, they flew me in, they put me up. It was great. I lived at the Plaza Hotel and other hotels. That was amazing. So that was all great, except for that one day was so awful. And I had 150 pharmaceutical reps that were at a hospital from out of town for meetings. That's what program I was in for. And the guests were all staying at the Hotel Intercontinental. And so I go from the Hotel Intercontinental, where I'm staying with my clients, take the subway into work, and I come out, and the Flatiron Building is right there. And you can see everybody stops. Everyone stopped. And no one really knows what's going on. And we had Nextels, I think back then, walkie-talkie Nextel phones. And so I just kind of panicked, but I froze. I didn't know what was happening. And I watched the second plane go in, but it was so surreal. You still don't know what's happening. Like, you're like, there's no way. And so everyone was like, something's wrong, a plane accident. And then we saw the second one, and I sprinted to my office. I ran faster than I've ever run in my entire life. And I get to the building. It's a Mason building, very safe, by the way. You know, that's where they keep all the cups. If you've seen all the movies, you know what I'm talking about. So the Masons, they're good people. They're still there. They still remember me when I stop by. So I go up to my building, and we kind of find out what's going on. And then we find out that all the planes got landed. Well, guess what? My boss had to go to DC. So she was in DC for a meeting after we did that site tour. She was flying back. So she went, I think, Saturday night or Sunday morning, and then she was coming back. So her plane got landed in another state. And she's stuck on this airplane for hours and hours. We have no cell phone reception, no email or contact reception. And here I am freaking out. And I didn't know that my husband was at the Pentagon. I had no clue. No one could get in touch with me. They thought I might have been at Windows on the World, which is at the top. And so we go to the top of the building on our roof, and we watch the buildings crumble. Worst experience ever. But then we had to go into crisis management mode. And you guys are going to learn about risk management for me, because I'm the real deal. I'm not one of those, oh, freebie retreat. Then I use ChatGPT to print out a planner and just gave it to you. Do I use AI? Absolutely. But I'm the one who puts the information in the AI. It's not, you know, it's not like, oh, let me copy something from the internet and drop it in. I know what I'm doing, and I'm bringing in experts who also know what they're doing. And I've talked to some of my friends. They're excited to come teach you about hotel contracts and just contracts in general, and all kinds of things like terms and conditions and things like that, how to negotiate room blocks, how to get those resort fees down, how to pay less for certain things. And they're going to teach you about the ins and outs. And then there's Airbnb options, of course, but there's pros and cons to that. So we'll talk about things like that as well. So there's obviously a massive power that's here. And I will tell you, with the risk management, I'm going to tell you more about that story later, but I had to use the van that we used at Ellis Island the night before and hadn't returned yet. It was a rental. None of us have cars. It's New York City. I used the van that we used in Ellis Island for the photographers and the staffing to preset. But we hadn't returned it yet. Thank God. And my colleague, Kevin White, who later became president of International Live Events Association that I'm in, Kevin and I took the van, drove to the hospital up north, and the van only seats 8. I had 150 people plus my tour guides. I had to get from the hospital on foot in high heels and suits. And these girls are pharmaceutical reps, so they dressed to the nine all the way to Hotel Intercontinental. It was not enjoyable, especially because when I went in to get them, everyone was hysterical, crying and panicking. And I had to keep my cool for the entire day, So then my tour guides and I had to walk them. Why did we have to walk them? We bused them there. Why did we have to walk them to the hotel if they took buses from the hotel? Because in New York City, buses don't park in New York City. If there's a wait and return for 6 hours or 5 hours, they have to go back to New Jersey and wait there. They couldn't get back on because all the bridges and the tunnels were closed. So everything's on lockdown. You guys know what lockdown looks like, don't you now? Everything's on lockdown, the whole city. Everyone's on foot. Everyone's crying, panicking, freaking out. We had no idea what was going on. And when we found out it was a terrorist attack from watching it, It was a disaster. So the other thing is that when the buildings crumbled, you could smell it all. You could smell the smoke. You could smell what you don't want to smell. And I'm not even going to trigger that one out. And it was just a nightmare. There were florists walking around handing out a flower to people. I just remembered that, actually. That's something I just remembered. There were restaurants giving food away. The Plaza Hotel gave us all free rooms for the night because we're always there. I left the Intercontinental, went with my photographer, who was my wedding photographer and best friend, and we went to the Plaza, stayed there, and ultimately he got me back to my parents in Baltimore. And then we drove overnight, my mother and I, back to Florida to get back to my husband as the submarines and all ships deployed. We didn't keep any ships in the United States. We had to get everything out just in case they started to do another Pearl Harbor. So you see, crisis management, risk management. Are you ready for the floods? Are you ready for the fires? Are you ready for, I have not seen it all, because as we know from news, there's always something new, but this is powerful, important stuff. Okay. So there's your power, and we're going to make everything bespoke and fun too. It's not going to be like that. You're going to maximize customer engagement. We're going to boost our business profiles. We're going to transform staff with leadership and team building ideas. I'm also going to bring in some fun guests. They're excited to come in. Elevate conversion rates. Yes, we need to make money. Enjoy unparalleled networking opportunities. You guys are going to start. You're like my first group. I did a 5-day challenge. It was very successful. And now it's coming into this is the 6-week course. This is the real deal. It's the first time I'm teaching this virtually. We can also teach it in person, just so you know, if you know anyone. You're going to skyrocket your influence. You're going to become an influencer in your own field. And you're going to celebritize because you've got Araya who's got your back, because we are a network and we are a family. We're going to reignite your creativity, which is really fun. Who here is creative? Put the word creative in the chat if you're creative. Okay, so the next thing is work-life balance. Did anyone here feel like they have work-life balance? Hells no, that doesn't exist, by the way. I just want you to know that. They're all liars. They're liars. There's no work-life balance, especially if you are in your work from home, have little kids always, doing this, doing that. But guess what? You'll hear my story later. It's crazy. I have so many stories that are so bizarre. I'm writing books about it. Go figure. So work-life balance, it may not be easy. It may not seem quote unquote feasible, but you can actually do it because you have to have fun. And I like what Janet said, harmony. That's right. And listen, I have a lot of spiritual people in my life, friends with a lot of mediums and hypnotherapists and soul seekers and all this kind of stuff, light healers. I'm a light healer, by the way. I just don't know how to use any of those skills. I just have high energy. So I hope my high energy is contagious. I hope you guys like it. I'm so excited to meet Janet too. Zai, thank you so much. I am like, I mean, it's called, the Yiddish word is besheret. Does anyone know what besheret means? Oh, Janet knows. Besheret is Yiddish for, let's see, put it in the chat. Let's see if you know. Who knows? She's typing. Let's see if she knows. She's writing a book. You've got me on the edge of my seat, Janet. Life expanded. Good guess. Besheret means meant to be. It's meant to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And you don't always know why, but you're exactly where you're supposed to be. It's meant to be. So, hello, Zai brought Janet, right? Janet is on the same board as my mom. Come on, people. Come on. I brought my mom to Speaker Hearts when I was public speaking, and I told them my mom was coming, and her background during the mastermind with like Sharon Lecter and Laurel Langmeyer and Eric Swanson, all that. And that's my crew, right? That's my Napoleon Hill group. And so I say one of the girls says, "Who's your mom?" And I tell her, she goes, Sherry goes, "I know your mom. I used to go to her conferences in the 80s. I mean, come on, y'all. Look at that. Goosebumps. Hairs up. You're going to find a lot of that in my life. I have a lot in common with a lot of people. So we're going to clear this up right now. I know a lot of people don't produce their events and their retreats because they have fear of time commitment. Who's got that? Just nod your head. Oh, you can't all nod your head. You're half naked. Okay. So fear of time commitment. Put in the chat. Time. Christina's getting ready and doing it. So we better see what you guys look like when you're done doing your hair and makeup and getting all dressed up. The Yiddish word for getting all dressed up is verputzt. Time, exactly. Fear of time commitment. The second fear is fear of having enough clients to fill the seats. Who has that fear? Clients. So my programs actually include marketing strategies, and I'm going to teach you to identify your ideal clients. And I'm going to get one of my favorite people who speaks on Tony Robbins stages. He's a dear friend of mine, and I was having drinks with him and his wife on Friday night, and I said, I want you to be my special guest for targeting clients and lead gen. And he goes, I'm in like Flynn. So you guys are getting like, I'm telling you, this is real deal stuff. Okay. We're going to start small and we're going to, you say it loud. I love you. Okay. So you're going to learn about social media and networking hacks. And I have clients who started networks that were small and then grew their retreats and all that. So we're going to work on that too. So fear of finding clients is a very common one, but I think the biggest one is the risk of losing money. Yeah? Who here is scared of that? Janet has a Jewish husband. Is going to wonder where she's getting all the words. I love it. I'll give you a lesson. Christina, fear of losing money. Listen, I got that too. You know where the fear went away? It disappeared. Where did it disappear? Because Napoleon Hill said, let it disappear. And because Brian Tracy says, what you doing? And Eric Swans is like, it can't be there. And Laurel Langmeyer is like, you need a different mindset. And Sharon Lecter says, you need to have, let's see, what is it? Financial literacy. And so they all say this stuff to me every day, because not only are you getting Samara Beth and company, the and company is all the people that are my coaches, that are my speakers, that are my event specialists, that are my top dogs. That's the people that you're going to get. I'm doing an event in Miami for world champion boxers. Some of you know Danny Calafel. So he's a 10X, I'm a 10X certified business coach at Grant Cardone, just so you know. So you're also getting marketing and sales tips that I get. And trust me, I pay a lot of money to be a licensee. And trust me, I'm telling you in full honesty that I make commission when I sell event tickets to GrowthCon and business retreats and his real estate courses, because I'm a licensee and I paid a lot of money for that. But I also paid a lot of money for the training, and the sales and marketing training is awesome. So some of that's going to be kicking in here too. So don't worry about losing money, because we're in it together. Okay. And we're not going to target just the people here. You're targeting everyone in your world. Okay. So if you want to achieve your business dreams, say yes in the chat. All right, we're going to do it through in person. We're ready. Okay, so here's what you're going to learn. I'm going to try again to see if I can share a screen, because I'm looking at slides right now and you're not. And I know it's helpful, or I can send, is that okay? You want me to show them? Okay. I did, but it was it was not it was glitchy, you guys said. So, but that might have been because of all the AI kicking in. So let me go ahead and try to do it now and see what we can do. Share. I also have like multiple things open here. Microsoft PowerPoint. Let's see if I can do it this way. Open. Sesame. Where are you? PowerPoint. Oh, can you see it? Do you see the PowerPoint? You do? Sweet. Because I have like a multi-screen thing that you remember Michelle from New York, Zai? She talked me into this tech, and I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know how to do any of this stuff. So I'm learning it. And that's the thing, like a lot of people who are techie, they weren't available today, but they'll help me in the future. So, okay. So you're going to transform your identity and plan. The problem is I don't know how to get this thing off of my computer. So that's the problem. Sorry about that, guys. Let me see if I can do it. Share screen through here. Yeah. Why isn't it? Okay. So you're seeing, here's what we're going to discuss, transform the trips. You actually see that? Or you just see my Zoom thing? It's a bit glitchy. It is. I don't know why it's doing, it must be the wrong one. I'm sorry, guys. It'll be better for next time. This is okay, because it's just kind of a recap. Not a recap, but so we're gonna stop that. Maybe I'm choosing the wrong one or I have too many open. So let me do this. Let me take off the display. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to remove the this guy, the SR2. Oh, it's the wrong size. That might be why, but okay. We're going to remove it. I don't know how to remove it. Okay, we're not going to remove it. This stuff's techie, man. Okay, so we're just going to keep it on because I can't fix it. Where's Kane when you need him? He's in Sardinia. That's where he is. And he wants me there and I'm not. Mama's got to work. Okay, so, all right. So you're going to learn to transform, recharge, identify, and plan. So go ahead and unmute your mic do like kind of raise your hand so I can call on you to unmute your mic. Because I want to know what you think is the definition of transform when it comes to events.
Are you talking about transformation for the guest or transforming?
How will you transform? That's the whole point, actually, is I'm being vague about it. So go ahead. I guess, Janet, you raised your hand.
Yeah. For me, transform is more about giving them something they've never had before.
Okay, that's good. What's another way you can transform? And I'm saying it general for a reason.
For someone else, or do you want me to keep talking?
Well, Araya, do you have an answer? Anyone?
Yeah, I love what you were saying. Transforming lives, transforming legacies, having like the aha moments by coming together to retreats is what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The aha moments. Zai?
Bring out what's in their head out in front, out in their life, to give them what they hear and they know, but they can't bring around them.
That's a good one. Okay, great. And then let's see, who else is hands raised? We've got Janet. Oh, Christina. Christina?
Making their visions a reality.
Yes. Very good. And have you ever been to an event that's really transformed you? Yeah. Janet, tell me why. Why did that event transform you?
Because I had an expectation of what it would be and it turned out entirely different.
Amen to that. Okay, so, all right. So here's how this is going to work. Can you see the word how? Are you guys seeing that? Do you see the slide that says how? No. All right, we're just going to keep going. So the TRIPS formula is the retreat blueprint, and I created this. This is not from anyone else. So we're going to transform, which is what the T stands for. We're going to start small, but you got to think big. You want to think big. You want to be grandiose. You want to do something that really matters, right? And you want to do nice. I mean, everybody wants to go on a big cruise ship, and they want to do really neat things, and I get that. And you can get there. You can start there, especially if you have the money. But if you do that, then just know that I had a client who freaked out because she booked a yacht and nobody came. And she was like begging me to stay in Florida to come, but I had to fly home. And so she ended up using it smartly for marketing, where she had a photographer and videographer come and her family, and they did a marketing photo shoot, video shoot. But she's paid a lot of money for that. So you can think big. I want you to. I welcome you to, but you gotta start small. And it's crucial to structure VIP retreats to achieve these company objectives. We're going to teach you about all this stuff, but structure is the next thing that's going to be part of it. And then we're going to define memorable and impactful experiences using experiential learning, personalized service, and luxury accommodation, although it doesn't have to be a luxury accommodation. No one's saying you have to be at the Four Seasons, okay? But if you want to, it's nice. Okay, so I have lots of testimonials that I can share with you, but obviously those are going to be on here, so we're not going to do that right now. Recharge. That's what the R stands for, recharge. So you're going to learn to recharge with unique, relaxing, fun experiences. Okay. And it's going to be engaging, they're going to be memorable and relaxing. So they can be all, or they could be one of those things. Okay. And you're going to learn those. And we're going to have some special guests coming in to do some things like a game show and just really neat stuff. And we're not talking about the kind of stuff that you see when you're on like Clubhouse and Chatter, guys. This is professional. This is a whole nother level. And then we're going to do letter I. Letter I is identify. That's a big one. Okay. So you're going to identify your target client for your retreats, VIP experiences, incentive travel, and for team building. Team building is really important, and icebreakers. So you're going to know who your ideal customer is. You're going to have their interests in self-development. They need to be committed to transforming their business and life. So this is stuff that they need to have. And it has to be people that want to be inspired. Those are the people that you're going to invite, right? So we're going to learn about the ideal customer, interests, and their level of commitment, and how to figure out what that is. Okay. And I know you're right. If you guys are writing this down, don't worry, because you're going to get the actual, like, this is what we're doing on the day, Tuesday of every week. We're going to target every single letter is a day, and planning, to be honest, is like a year, but we're going to try to do it in a day. But that's why this is 6 weeks, because then the last week is going to be us going through everything, reviewing, seeing what you guys have. I'm going to share with you budget spreadsheets that you can use. I'm going to share with you proposals and contracts, conceptual, and the way things look, the way I do it. Obviously, you need to have a lawyer look at these things, and they are forever changing, because there's always a new natural disaster that goes out under force majeure. So we help you with that. And then I'm bringing in, where's the paid vacation come in? So P is plan. We're going to plan those transformative experiences. They're going to be personalized and exclusive, memorable and impactful. There's going to be experiences. You're going to be presenting your value proposition. You're going to learn how to do your value proposition. A lot of you guys hear about that. You're going to learn to do experiential videos and interactive webinars and impactful infographics, personalized email marketing. We're not going to teach you all of this at one time. It's not a 6-week course in that case, but this is stuff that you can grow into. But we are going to just talk about it and, look at options. And then, we can always move forward into more detail later. So the S stands for success. That's where your paid vacation is coming in. It's your success. It's your target audience and what you're going to charge them. It's maximizing profitability. It's pricing strategies. And are you targeting the right person with the pricing? Probably, maybe not. I got to tell you, a lot of us are in groups right now that really can't afford some of the services that we're offering. And so that's why a lot of them within audio apps and things like that, and some of the coaching groups that I'm in, and I'm in like 6 plus in-person networking groups that I go to all the time in Arizona and all over. I fly everywhere. Not everyone there can afford your services. Some of them are just there to sell you, which is why I've got Grant's book, Sell or Be Sold. We gotta sell it, right? So, but what's the bonus? Does anyone know the bonus of doing retreats? Like, not financial. What are the bonuses of what happens to you, how you transform when you do these? Christina?
Not just that you're there for the experience, but you're also traveling as you're doing your events.
That's right. And we're going to get someone who understands taxes, who's in the tax world, CPA world, who is going to teach you the tax deductions. And so if you don't already have an LLC, go get one. Make sure it's not already taken. Make sure things are trademarked, and you can do it as a DBA. If you already have a company, you want a DBA, something else for events and retreats, you want an LLC. I will tell you this, I am not a lawyer, but LLCs, if you get sued, they can't sue you personally. They're still suing your business. So you got to watch out. That's why we talk about risk management. And there's a lot that can happen at these things. You could lose someone in a hike, or God forbid. I mean, I've seen so many sad things that have happened Someone, the crew, there was a yacht that mysteriously, that's a whole conspiracy theory, but there's a yacht with billionaires that, you know, people didn't make it. There's fires that happen. There's heart attacks. I mean, we had a neighbor in one of my buildings that I lived in years ago during COVID, actually. She had a heart attack in the hot tub and died. Like, you don't expect that to happen when you wake up in the morning, but these things happen. Are you ready for emergencies? Araya, your hand is up. What can you provide?
Yeah, no, I was just going to answer your question, why we're doing it. And it is for, I couldn't find an event or retreat that was just for women to have deeper relationships, have fun together, brainstorm together. It was always either yoga or meditation or Christian, which, you know, I'm all of the above, but I wanted one where we didn't have that big agenda. We could do something fun and be girlfriends together. And I did do the Airbnb, so I'm sure you're going to be talking about it, because you're talking about this insurance. I bought the Airbnb extra insurance that was like $250, which will cover up to 11 people. So I figured that was good to have because I'm having people there that are not me and my family. So I'm looking forward to hearing all about that. But basically, I want to do this because I want to travel and have fun doing it. And why not make money doing something we love now that I'm in my, I don't want to say retirement years, but going forward towards 70. I'm not going backwards towards 30. And I want to enjoy my life. I want to have fun and I want to bring others with me. And why not make money and leave a legacy for my daughters?
Absolutely, absolutely. And someone's going to come in and teach you about how to employ your kids and your mother, your father, whoever. So I'm actually employing my mom now that she's a widow, and my daughter, because she wants to participate. We're doing a mother-daughter event. We're working on the cruise and waiting on availability. They book up really quickly, but we're looking to do a mother-daughter cruise retreat and bringing everyone on board that wants to. And we have 3 generations, which is a massive blessing. And so how neat is it to have multiple generations of women on a cruise together, with activities and some learning, but really, I don't want to over schedule it. I want everyone to really bond and be friends, but you know, there's gonna be lots of icebreakers and private events and, you know, some speaking about, you know, maybe, you know, women and girls and how we are and empowerment and things like that. We have to be there for our children. It's scary out there. It's really scary out there. So let's just make sure that we've got it together, because our generations need us. Okay, so here's some other bonuses that come out of it. You guys kind of mentioned this, experiences. So studies show that one retreat checked off your list and your guest list will expect you to feel recharged. Like you're going to have this energy, you're going to have that sense of experience. And when you get back, has anyone gone to a conference or a summit or retreat and you get back, you're like pumped. You're pumped when you leave and then you go home and you get in the walk in the house and you're like, everything's dirty and you got to clean up and nobody made their bed while they were gone. Did you have something to add, Janet?
No.
She's like, I
It's
get
just
rid of
life. It's just life.
The other thing that you can feel when you do this is a sense of accomplishment, right? When you have one. Listen, some people are like, I just need to break even. You know, if I'm going to Laguna Beach and doing a retreat there at the Ritz or whatever, I just want to make sure I break even and I got tax deductions, which really you're making money off of that essentially. Okay. So that's also a bonus. I'll tell you another thing that you feel that's a bonus is clarity, a sense of clarity, because you and your business will get to know who you are better, like what you don't like. It really does happen when you go to some of these things. Has anyone ever left a summit or event and had a sense of clarity? Or even a virtual? Yeah. So put it in the chat, who here has produced a retreat, summit, conference, or event, not a birthday party or anything like that, business related. Put in the chat what you've done, just like, you know, retreat, event, conference, summit, kumbaya. You know, conference, good. Christina, very good. Was that in person though? I know you do. I know you've done digital because you're awesome with Ramona. Belly dancing Mexican cruise. Sign me up. Did you attend it or did you produce it?
I produced it with my teacher. We put it together.
All right, we're doing that. I've done belly dancing. We used to have a coin skirt. I get my girlfriend who's a belly dancer gave to my daughter. That was the most annoying thing to have in the apartment, by the way. Okay, so we've got belly dancing, Mexican cruise, events for meetups, and 12 was what Janet said. And Araya had 12 large Live Your Legacy summits in person. Araya is an expert. She's an Emmy Award winner. She's kind of a big deal. So I'm so honored to see you with your towel off too, Araya. You look gorgeous. Okay, there's always gonna be humor.
You're
when you're
too
with me.
funny. Now that could come out wrong there. I like to see me with
I
my towel
know.
on.
She's
Yeah, I'm all
stressed
ready
now.
now. I
She's
love
ready.
it.
There's
I'm really
always gonna
excited
be-
about.
Go
I
ahead.
was just say really excited about this because I haven't done like retreats of my own. I've done in-person events at the hotel, and I got a really great relationship with the Hilton. So whole different ball of wax, and the pandemic shut me down. And I remember it was a year planning for each and every one of those celebrity events. And I'm looking forward to working with you where it's not going to be so all-consuming. I want simplicity and fun and a much smaller, more elite crowd going away and having, experiences. So I'm taking it to a different direction.
Good, good, good. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Rhea. So another bonus is a sense of purpose. You expect to uncover some purpose in your life when you do these. And a lot of times it's not because you're the producer and you're doing it. You might love it because you'll see that people are like crying. They're so emotional because it's so powerful. They might find connection with other people that are there. I've seen people get married from these. I've seen people that become business partners or best friends, or they start producing retreats together. So there's a lot of things that come out of it, and your sense of purpose can start to kick in because you might realize, you know what? I've always wanted to be a belly dancer. And then you start taking belly dancing courses with Janet. And then before you know it, you're producing Mexican belly dancing cruises with her.
Oh,
I love
that
that
would
it
be
was-
Zai. That would be Zai.
Zai. I meant Zai. I'm looking at Zai. I'm literally looking at Zai. And I said, what did I say, Janet?
That's okay. People do it all the time.
No, I'm just like staring at names. I think that's why. Sorry about that. So purpose, mental health. We've had a lot of issues with mental health since COVID, but we've really always had issues with mental health. But you can expect improvements in your mental health when you produce retreats. They can be very stressful, but the nice thing about this group is we're not alone. Okay, you're not alone. Now vitality. I have a lot of energy, but sometimes I need someone to give me a little pick me up. So vitality is you're going to have this expectation of feeling more alive. You're going to feel more alive. You're going to have energy. You're going to be like, oh my God, it's like when you go off a roller coaster, you don't want to get on the roller coaster. And then you're like, I love that. Let's do it again. As soon as you get off of it. Again, my kids do this all the time. It takes forever to get them onto a ride. And then I get them on the ride and they're like, again. I'm like, are you kidding me? It took me 2 hours to get on the thing. I'm telling you. So this is where it's at. You're going to have a lot of those bonuses, but there's going to be a lot of mastery bonuses and things that you're going to get part of the planning process. And we did talk a little bit about it, but that retreat revenue toolkit, I have a retreat planner that you'll be getting later. We have opportunities to partner on the retreats like we talked about, speaking engagements, bucket list experiences and adventures with like-minded people, which I already know that there's commonalities in this group. And then we're going to have a comprehensive guide with the pricing. We'll work on that for strategies. And sample contracts and questionnaires, negotiation. There's going to be also surveys, like quizzes and surveys and things that you want to do afterwards. We'll talk about the analytics, and we're having a surprise guest. I mean, guys, seriously, this whole training is so underpriced. It's not even funny. But this is about getting everyone going and having a community and building on it. And that was my main priority. And so I cared more about that than anything, because I've been working on this for a long time, not the presentation necessarily, but getting people together, being part of groups. And it's hard because you're conflicting, right? Like it's August. We went back to school August 5th. Other people go September. It's Labor Day weekend is ahead. My son just started college on Monday. My daughter started high school this month. Like there's a lot of things that have happened and are happening in people's lives. So not everyone can be present all the time. And I do understand and respect that. But I do want you to try to the best you can. And that's why I didn't choose a Thursday, because I want you guys to do it in the beginning of the week. And listen, Kane and Alicia have a lot of programs on Mondays. So I tried not to do anything on Monday because I know some of the people are from that group. So that's why I chose Tuesday. And even though I'm in my Alliances networking group at Tempe every 8 a.m. every Tuesday morning, it takes me about 45 minutes to get there. I deliberately decided to have this take place a few hours later, so I'm not running late in case anything happens. And so we're going to do it at 1 p.m. It's going to be 2 hours from 1 p.m. to which is Pacific Standard Time. And then so that's 4. Yes, still use my fingers. Listen, I use my fingers to count. My mom is going to be 77. She still goes left and right. Okay. So you guys can't judge me on the finger thing, because if you do the whole your fingers up left and right, and she's left-handed, so she sets every table backwards. I'm like, Mom, I literally teach. I developed some courses, a kids etiquette course called Kitikit back when I was pregnant with Ava. I've been teaching it for so long, and then entertaining etiquette for adults. And I literally like teach table setting and all that. And my mom gets so mad when I tell her that everything is backwards because she's left-handed. So I go around the table before every event and I move the glasses and change out all the silverware. She doesn't even notice. It's hilarious, but we have each other's backs. So it's going to be on Tuesdays. If there is a conflict like travel or something like that, I'll let you know and we'll just move it out, which just gives you more time to do development. Because to be honest, 6 weeks is not a lot for producing events for a lot of people. For me, I can do it in a week, but most people can't do that. And then we're going to try to fill those seats. So that's going to be another part of it. I'm not going to say that your retreats are going to be filled within 6 weeks, but you certainly will have all that you need to produce the retreat. And you will have the date on your calendar, the motivation. You may have people from our group filling it. And listen, I know people missed today. We can send out the recording, and I'm going to send out the slides. But if you're know anyone, if you're like, oh my gosh, y'all, this is for real. This is for real. We have got to bring more people into this program. It's not too late. It is not too late. So I wouldn't do it after Tuesday necessarily. I think that it's better that we have the groups moving forward together because I don't care for having to answer questions that were part of like day 1 when someone comes in day 3. Not a fan of that. Coaches do that to make more money and when it's ongoing, and I get it. And it brings more people to your group, but we have the Paid to Vacation Facebook group that I'm going to invite you all into. So make sure you are, I'm going to drop my digital business card into the chat right now. And I'm also going to drop the discount code, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to honor a discount code for you guys to send to your friends. I'm going to tell you right now, this is like a $5,000 course, at least. I mean, Mark, who you heard from before, he knows what I'm doing in this course. And he's like, this is a college course. Why are you teaching this on virtual? I'm like, I know, but got to start somewhere. So we're doing it virtually. And I appreciate your patience with all the tech and all that kind of stuff. But we will have, what? I've been in groups with people who've been doing tech for decades and they still have things that go wrong. So it's a blessing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the link for the landing page. So I'll teach you guys about landing pages if you have Go High Level. Who here uses Go High Level? Who here uses HubSpot? Put your CRM in the system. Oh, give me 1 second though before you do that. I'm going to give you Legacy Living's coupon code, which is actually for Araya's group. But I'm going to let you, I'm going to honor it for anyone that you guys bring in. The code is Legacy, all caps. And they get it this $1,997 course for only $49. Araya, you have your hand raised?
Yes. 2 things. 1, let's go ahead and let's promote it in my Facebook group. So, and I'll I'll do that as well when I get back tonight or first thing tomorrow. We'll promote it all day tomorrow in my 24-hour chatter room. So come in, we'll talk about it. I'll rave about it. So come on in whenever you can. Just text me when you think you can come in. We'll do that for this course. Because I was thinking too, I wanted to do it, but it was the day after. So I wasn't sure if we could still have people start. And my question is it too late to promote and kind of get help to fill, 6 spots for my retreat that's coming up next month? I know it's short notice, but
So
I'm gonna do one in January for sure.
Can you share the dates? Because I
Yeah.
was just told I have to go to Florida a bunch. So I want to see what the dates are, make sure it's still
Yeah,
feasible.
September 23rd, 4th, and leaving the 25th.
Okay. So September. So Araya is trying to fill, how many seats do you have left?
I have 6 because we only have 11 that can be there. They can sleep 16, but we're not going to put that many in it. So think 11 or 12 is a nice number. So I have 6 spots left.
Okay. So
in Tennessee.
I know that we're doing more like networking and fun and stuff, but that's on a Tuesday. Could we do
Yeah.
it like a hybrid on Tuesday for one of the letters, or no? Because I know it's more of a hanging out thing. I would have
Say
to
that
bump,
again?
because we're doing this course on Tuesdays, that falls into September 24th. So if we do that,
Oh.
I have to teach whatever letter that is, TRIPS.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. You could do that. That would be fun. Absolutely.
we could either do it in person and we can have Zoom set up, so it could be hybrid. Or we can bump it another week. And we can get to that point too and make a decision.
Absolutely. Whatever works for you. I'm
okay.
there for you. We can have some fun. We're going to do some chatter rooms and fun things. We're going to have a few networking type of games. So everything's going to be just real fun instead of sitting there with a notepad. But I just want to know if it was too late. I don't want to take up your time here for this, but I just want to see if it was too late to get some promotion for that and your help. But I definitely what I'm going to plan here with you the 6 weeks is my one in January. So I want to do my next one in January because everybody needs a break. All the women need a break after the holidays, because the holidays is a lot of work for us women. So
absolutely.
we need to get away.
Janet, are you available on those dates?
Yes, I am.
If you're available on those dates, Araya, can you put your video back on?
Oh yeah, sorry.
If Janet's able to go, I don't know if she is, and I pay for my mom to go, well, that could be explosive. We might all get hypnotized.
A question though, where exactly is it?
It's
Knoxville,
in Tennessee. It's
Can't
close
go.
to Knoxville. It's like Sevierville, Gatlinburg.
I'm so
It's like
sorry,
that.
I can't go because I'm not allowed to fly for the next 6 months.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I have something to look forward to.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
We'll
I'm
do more.
coming
And
January.
I'm doing spiritual summits, so we can do them in California. You're in California, right?
Yeah.
So we were going to do one in Boca because I have some people in Boca. I don't know if you know Haley Elise. But there's a bunch of people I have in Boca that want to do spiritual retreats and summits. And then I could do the same thing and we can do it in California as well.
That would be great.
Yeah. And in a lot of those cases, we're like partnering, So
I still
Araya,
want your
yeah,
mom to come. I love your mom. You and your mom.
I know.
Your
I
mom's so
know. I
sweet.
know. So it's interesting because I am actually an agent now for these boxers, and we're doing an event in Miami, and it's going to be in the fall, the week of October 21st. So I have to go to the East Coast to Miami now to do a site tour of a gym because we're using the indoor and the parking lot of the gym for this event. We've got a Grammy award-winning rapper that's going to be there. And if all goes well, this isn't an actual fight, by the way. They're not actually boxing. This is a fundraiser. And we're not done with the information yet, but I can drop the current landing page. It's being updated, but this shows you like when you're doing events, everything should be the live document because you want to make sure that you're able to do any updates because you're forever fluid and changing in the event industry. So you have to be able to be fluid and be ever changing because things come up all the time. That's the industry. That's it right there. So I just put the boxing sponsorship landing page in there. So the reason why I put that in there is because I'm representing these boxers. We're doing corporate sponsorship. We're raising money so that they can so that they can do the tune-up fights that they need. One of them is a 4-time world champion boxer, and he's 52. One of them is going to be going for the title of 4-time world champion, and he's in his 30s. And the other one, Danny, who you guys know, hasn't been in the ring in almost 7 years, and he's a business entrepreneur, and he's a 10X certified business coach with me with Grant Cardone, and he's amazing, and he's getting back in the ring. He's going for the title, and so he brought me on to represent them, and we're bringing on his friends, and we're doing an auction. And here is why I want you to open up that flyer. Open that flyer right now. Tell me when you're open. Thumbs up when you're open. Okay, that's a landing page. It collects money. It's through Go High Level, through IR CRM. The reason why I wanted you to open it is because when you're doing an event, it's always smart to tie it to a nonprofit. So we're like, okay, what's a nonprofit that would be really powerful if it's tied to boxing? Why did these guys become boxers? What was their childhood like? They grew up in the hood. They grew up on the streets. Why did they get into boxing? To stay out of trouble. What was the trouble? For some of them, they were getting beaten up at home. For others, they were getting beaten up on the streets. So they had needed an outlet. And so they became boxers instead of becoming, a parent or someone else, who's doing that to them. So they made a good choice. And so what we're doing is we are actually also some proceeds and partnerships are with nonprofits that help people that are in a situation of domestic violence or domestic abuse, because not all abuse gives you a black eye. And so I already am partnering with one of my girlfriends who's a TED Talk speaker, and she's going to be selling all of her logo is on all of her like hoodies and sports bras and, water bottles and all that kind of stuff. She's going to sell it, and they're going to keep the proceeds for the nonprofit. And then we're going to be all over different podcasts. We're going to be doing marketing. We're doing an event. We're selling corporate sponsorships. There's going to be a lot of added value now that we know when the event is that we're putting onto that flyer, because this is not done. This is a work in progress, because now we got the singer locked in today. So now we're getting this, we're getting that. So as these things are coming together, we're constantly building the landing page instead of waiting to the last minute. And then that way we can pre-sell as much as possible and then get on the phone and get corporate sponsorship. And so that's what we're doing. And so you guys are really, I was going to be doing the mother-daughter retreat while I was doing this, but you guys are actually going to be helping me, not helping me per se, but part of this journey, because this event is going to be in October, the end of October, because we didn't want to be during elections and we didn't want to be right after elections. I don't know, nothing to do with that. So anyways, so does anyone have any questions? And just to clarify, so Tuesdays are going to be, we cover each letter on Tuesdays. And if we have to extend this longer after 6 weeks and go into like a VIP and all that kind of stuff, then that's what we do. I don't like when I finish a coaching program and I feel like I did not close a circle. I need to close circles to feel complete. I have an OCD type A personality. Like I come into like a messy anything, I feel very discombobulated. So we're going to try to close as many circles as we can, but we're going to try to focus on one circle. Dylan, you've been awfully quiet, my dear. Do you have any questions or anything to add? Would you like to I want you guys to introduce yourselves too. So we're going to do that because I want you to do intros. Tuesdays, 1. No, not 1. I'm in Pacific Standard Time, What did I tell you what? Oh, I did. Never mind. My bad. Sorry. Oops. Okay. So Tuesdays, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central Time, and 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And what gets more annoying than anything in the world is I live in Arizona, and Arizona and Hawaii don't have daylight savings. So we are currently the same time as Pacific Standard Time, even though we don't change our clocks. It's really their fault. And then we go in, that was a air quote for those who are listening or just listening in. And then during daylight savings, we go back to Mountain Standard Time, but the reality is we all stay the same. You guys are the ones changing. it is very confusing for all. So that's why I try to like think about what state I'm the same as. But yes, that's correct. And then do you guys prefer, because I'm a little open as far as scheduling for Fridays. So I want to make sure that we get Fridays, Q&A and office hours. What hours would work for most of you guys? Put in the chat a time frame on Fridays in your time zone, please. That works best for Q&A on Zoom and office hours. Okay, so we've got on Friday, 11 works for Zai, which works for me. What else you got? And just so you know, if you guys have retreats, we're gonna all promote them too. And I'm gonna get you into the Facebook group, and then you're gonna be able to put your assets, like your link and your graphic. And if you have affiliate links, if you have a lot of the CRMs have affiliate link abilities, so and we can play along with that. So Janice said afternoon, okay, morning or early afternoon for Christina, and Christina's in California too, so that's great. It's great that so many of you are nearby. We're going to do a lot together. I'm doing a lot in Vegas too. I'm actually in San Diego for 2 events, one in September and one in November, like family events, mitzvahs. Okay, so it sounds like 11 a.m. is the winner. Araya, for you, by the way, we passed the vote to do away with daylight savings times in California. Let me know how that goes for you. Okay, so it's just confusing. It should be all 50 states or 9. It doesn't make sense why. And I lived in Hawaii, by the way, and they don't have it either. And I was 6 hours from everyone on the East Coast. My parents moved to Scottsdale 15 years ago, but they lived in Baltimore. And my husband's family was all in like Ohio. And so we had to it was awful. 6 hours is tough. Okay, great. All right. So I want you guys to each, so it looks like 11 a.m. and I'm just going to give you, I'll give you my Zoom link for that. And I already set up the Zoom for Tuesdays, but for some reason it didn't send it out to you guys. So I'll get that out to you all. And we'll bring Ramona in. Ramona knows what I do. Like, she's been through a little bit of my trip stuff. So she kind of knows that webinar. She's seen it before. So it's not like she missed anything today, but we need to make sure we get her on Tuesdays. So I want you guys all to introduce yourself. So tell us your name. Tell us again what city you're in, because some people have been getting ready, and tell us what type of retreats or events you're looking to do. And please keep it brief though, because then we'll come to an end. Araya, are you able to talk? I know you're on site. Okay, she might not be. Okay, who's ready? Janet? You're already unmuted, by the way.
Okay. My name is Janet Woods. I have a doctorate in Asian metaphysics, and I have been working in the metaphysical world for about 20 years. And the type of retreats I'm looking for is dual. One of them is to teach spiritual people how to make money. And the other one is to train spiritual people so that they can have, I want to say, the best life ever.
I love it. I love it. And I know a lot of spiritual people. I don't know. They just come to me. It's so funny. Okay, Janet. I'm Zai.
Zai.
I do take that as a compliment because I love Miss Janet.
I said Janet like 3 times. Like, I don't know why. It's so funny.
It's all right.
Okay.
We're sisters.
Zai. I love Zai's
I'm
name.
from sunny San Diego, where it's gorgeous here. And we pay for that, son. My retreat that I'm looking to build is to make a great choice in life, work with balance and mobility for people so that they continue to live their life no matter their ailments, and for health and wellness.
Okay, I'm putting it in the chat. All of this, by the way. Health and wellness. Beautiful. Okay, next. Dylan, are you available?
Hello.
Hi, darling. Okay, so I know some of us know who you are. Christina and Araya and I know you, but can you share with the other group? Tell us obviously your name is Dylan. Can you share what you do and the type of events you might be looking to do?
Thanks, Samara. My name is Dylan Taylor. I'm from near San Francisco, Bay Area, California, and I want to help businesses make their events accessible for people like myself and others with vision impairments and disabilities. Thanks.
And the name of your company is?
My company is Blindsight Connections, where we help businesses make their landing pages and websites accessible so that you can increase sales and reach more customers.
I guess it's a good thing I talked the whole time and you couldn't see my thingies today. Okay, Araya's ready. Go ahead, girl.
Hello, hello. I am here in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and I am going to be doing balcony friends retreats. Think of the Red Hat Society ladies, just out having fun, having experiences, and brainstorming together while we're there. So we will solve each other's problems, we'll help each other out, we'll have great resources for each other, but I want it outside of the classroom. I want it organically in the jacuzzi, around a chocolate fountain, over the fireplace. And I'm going to do a lot here to start in the Southeast. So I'm really about excited. And Atlanta just started a big double-decker T-bus where it's like the one in New York City. You probably know
Yes,
about it.
I know the New
Samara.
York City one. I was with them
Yeah.
actually at the Event Planner Expo last year.
Oh my God, I want it so bad, and now it's here in Atlanta. So I'd like to include fun things like that. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Balcony Friends retreats for women. These are exclusively for women. I'm excited about doing my first one. And my business is Legacy Living by Design, helping women achieve their wildest dreams at any age.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, Christina, are you able to talk? No, she might be getting ready. Okay, well, I think yeah, she's still there. Christina, are you able to talk on? So Christina assists Ramona with her programs, and she also works with a friend of ours who is a florist in California, and he's amazing. He sent me, when my dad passed away, he sent me the most gorgeous tropical arrangement. It was like jaw-dropping, and I'm an event planner. I've been around a lot of flower arrangements. This was unbelievable. It belonged as a centerpiece for like a guest table, hospitality table or something. So she's working with him, and he might pop in too. He actually wants to do events with me, so I'll probably be doing a big collaboration over there. He's San Francisco as well. It looks like a lot of you are there, and I just was just with somebody who runs a place there. So let's we'll just get it together. We'll make it happen. So if somebody's looking for a location, we can just collaborate and do it there with her. So okay, so does anybody have any questions whatsoever? Zai wanted to clarify that her retreats are balance and mobility for those with health challenges like Parkinson's and MS. My mom has MS and her brother has Parkinson's. She was diagnosed in 1989. I remember the week because it was the week of my bat mitzvah. It's interesting because her brother was one of the top, is in California and San Diego, but he's one of the top researchers. He's a doctor, one of the top researchers in the country, and he has Parkinson's, and he actually helped come out with the MS medication, which is even interesting more because I actually worked for their meeting as a meeting planner, and I didn't even know that it was an Avanex meeting until I got there. It was in Charleston or Florida. When I lived there, I was a meeting planner on site for years, and I had to set out all the pens, and I saw the pens. I'm like, this is Avanex. I'm like, my mom's on that. So it's just very interesting how things come full circle. I worked for a lot of pharmaceutical companies as I was moving around as a Navy spouse, in addition to all the other stuff. So I got a long story. You're just gonna have to read the books. Speaking of books, My Habitude Warrior, Human Empowerment. It's Eric Swanson and John Kovach. This is one of their many, many books. They started being a publisher. They used to do Speaker Hearts in person back when they were before COVID, and then during COVID they became publishers. And so, this is how I get my books. They're all autographed, and so we do book signings. And so our first book is coming out either September 20th or 27th. He hasn't been clear on when that's going to be yet, but it's going to be amazing. So we're all here to support each other. So I'll say, it's okay for you to promote with me. Just don't over promote, but you know, it's okay to promote within our community. So look out for that Facebook. If I gave you my business card so that you could tap on it and make sure you are connected to my LinkedIn, my Instagram, as well as my Facebook. And I can't get you onto Facebook group unless you're in my Facebook. So make sure you're doing that. All right, my battery is done and we're at the end of time. So I just want to thank you guys all for being here. I adore you. I love you. And remember, you have till Tuesday start time to share the link. And if you want, I can text the link and the code to you guys so that you have it handy and you can just put it in your notes like me. And I appreciate you. So
Can
thank
you
you.
email it to us as well? Can you email us?
Yes, of course. And
Okay,
it
that'd
also,
be great.
my assistant should have been emailing them. I'm in a transition time with the assistants over here.
And are we starting this coming up Tuesday after Labor Day?
That's right. Tuesday after Labor
Okay.
Day.
Thank you.
And it's you're welcome. It's at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
So 4
Okay.
o'clock Eastern. All right,
That's
perfect.
right.
Thank you, Samara. Great job.
I love
Great
you.
job.
Good luck today.
Love you too. Thank
It
you.
was so great seeing you all. Bye.
Bye, everyone.